Welcome back to episode 10 and the finale of my White River, north of Superior, bikepacking adventure. I'm Jim Federko, and I am the Pedaling Paddler. In episode 10, I combined days 15, 16, and 17 as I make my way from Agawa Bay Campground in Lake Superior Provincial Park to White River, where I would complete my 1,110 kilometer expedition. On day 15, I leave Agawa Bay Campground with wet equipment. My tent, my sleeping bag, my mattress, my pillow, all wet. Waking up in the rain. As I make my 58-kilometer trek to Rabbit Blanket Campground, day 15 gave me a reality check on safety. Day 16, I leave Rabbit Blanket Campground, Lake Superior Provincial Park, for Wawa, what would be just a 25-kilometer day. As I rode into Wawa, I got off the highway and started riding into town. And coming towards me was another bikepacker. He crossed the road and we met up and we chatted. Now we talked about the usual things. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Accommodations for the night. He had accommodations in Michipicoten, Ontario, just south of Wawa. I didn't. I didn't book anything or reserve anything for Wawa, a mistake I made. As we were talking, well, our conversation was cut short. A massive cloud came over, and it rained, and it started raining hard. From what I know, that there were tornado warnings for that day. The wind started picking up, and the rain was pounding. I only rode for a kilometer before I was soaked through all my rain gear. I rode to a convenience store and took shelter under the overhang. And that's when I realized I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. Even if I find a place to pitch my tent, what kind of sleep am I going to get that night? It was cold. The winds were incredibly heavy. And what would that do for my morale heading into White River the next day? So Wawa has 7, 8, or 9 motels. And for what I remember from the year before is that it's really hard to get a place to stay because a lot of these rooms are taken up by contractors. So I made my way to the first motel, and lo and behold, they had a room for me. And I thought, well, that was easy. And then I realized that it was Sunday. Contractors don't work on a Sunday. So as wet, as cold as I was happy, and I did not care. I went to Subway and got a couple of subs for the evening. Went to the LCBO to stock up on a couple of drinks to celebrate one more day. And then I rode to the Wawa Goose where I did some filming. That night, I would get overly prepared for my 91-kilometer trek into White River, where I would complete my 1,110-kilometer expedition. On day 17, when I reached White River, I realized that my odometer just said 95 kilometers. Now, my brothers were waiting for me in White River. They were my ride home. But I said to them when I got there that I'm going to go back into town and ride another 5 kilometers so that I could say that on the last day and the only day of my trip, I pulled off 100 kilometers. which would be a feather in my helmet. That'd be kind of cool. So when the trip is over, I'm going to show some clips of Pukasaw National Park. Some really, really cool lookouts. Some lookouts overlooking Lake Superior, the rocky shores, just really beautiful. And I want to take the time to thank everyone who has subscribed, for everyone who has followed my journey. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And click like. And if you have any questions about what I've done or what I do, please put it in the comments below. And I can probably make an episode out of it. So I've already had a few questions, and I've already done some side episodes. Jim's having an episode. And I just want to thank everyone for this, for following me on this epic journey. So let's go on to day 15. At this point along the highway, I got a reality check on safety. I came up on a line of vehicles that were stopped on the road and with their engines off. And as I was riding, and I was making my way past these vehicles, I was asking myself, what's going on here? Did a rock cut collapse and big rocks on the road? Did someone hit a moose? It wasn't until I got to the front of that line, the highway started to bend, and I was seeing what the holdup was about. I was really struggling whether or not to include this in my episode. But I think if anything good comes from it, it'll remind people about safety, especially on the long highway where people do get drowsy or distracted driving. Or I'm not going to put a label, or I'm not going to investigate on what happened and why, but to see that things can happen. And the reality check for me was, after 15 days, I've been letting my guard down. I wasn't checking in my mirrors much. I was just assuming that cars were going to pass me. Along my entire trip, tens of thousands of cars have passed me. And you have to assume that maybe 3 or 4 of these vehicles are bad drivers. And if there was 3 or 4 out of those tens of thousands, you have to assume that all 10,000 of those drivers are bad drivers. That keeps you mentally alert, keeps you aware of what's going on around you, and keeps you safe. You cannot let your guard down. And this incident, everybody was okay. Thank God, everybody was okay. And I did not film the occupants. They were on the side of the road. They were being treated by other people that had stopped on the side of the road, and everything, they looked okay. The car wasn't. So I made my way through the accident and headed down just 3 kilometers to my campsite, where I would take the time to seriously think about how lucky I've been throughout this whole trip. that pretty much puts a downer on the whole thing to see something like that. I don't know what happened. I didn't see a rock on the ground. There's no possibility of animal coming out. Traffic wasn't all that bad. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. Looking forward to Wawa tomorrow. I am in Wawa. Lake Superior's winds couldn't stop me. Lake Superior's massive 3-4 kilometer multiple hills couldn't stop me. Today and yesterday's major downpours couldn't stop me. That was for me. I get that a lot. And okay, where was I going with all this? Yeah, I'm here. I conquered the North Superior route, and the only thing that's left is 91 kilometers to White River out there. Last year, I drove up here in my truck and I got my riding clothes and took a picture in front of the goose. And I said, that's going to be me next year for real. Well, next year's here and it's real, boy. It's real. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I just want to keep talking. Yeah, the rains came down hard. Really, really hard. In fact, so hard. Man. I don't think I've ridden in such downpour. Especially with a front tire that's a little low on tread. Anyway, I have accommodations tonight, and I am going to get overly prepared for tomorrow's 91 trek into White River, and which will conclude my 2021 North of Superior adventure. Ha! Just beside myself right now. It's a beautiful morning, somewhere between Wawa and White River. Looks like I'm going to get a good day today. No parking on the bike lanes. At this point, I made my way to Obatanga Provincial Park, where I would stop and take a little break. Obatanga Provincial Park is halfway between Wawa and White River. But in 2020, we realized that this park had been abandoned for years. You're not allowed to camp there. You can't drive in, you leave your car at the gate, but you're allowed to walk in. We did that in 2020, and these are some of the footages that we've seen. I did walk in on with my bike. Well, left my bike at the gate, and walking into this park was very haunting. It had all the makings of a park without the sounds of vehicles pulling their campers, kids playing, just the normal sounds you hear in a roadside campground. And yeah, it was very haunting. Behind me here used to be a gas station and a campground. When I was 9 years old, I caught my very first fish here. Lake in the back, campground behind the gas station. Memories like that you don't forget. It's very sentimental. Man, it's been a long time. Just 20 out of White River. Gonna head off. Looks like quite possibly some rain. Anyway. 17 days, only 2 days off. Man, I'm not going to take this time to say everything I need to say, but yeah, I had a blast. Pulled off another one, the longest one. Totally different from anything I've done before. So it put all my experience just to see what I've got. And woohoo! Got it! Anyway, White River. I still have a kilometer to go.
Don't want any.
Where was the reception committee?
Oh, well, we didn't think you'd be this long. I mean, we thought you'd be longer. Because you're going to do town.
I did just do the town.
Oh, well.
I still got 5 kilometers left. 5.
Oh,
No, I gotta hit the century
well,
mark.
then you're not here yet.
I'm here. I'm basically here. I've accomplished. Oh crap! Can you move that down a little bit so I can get out through here?
I wanted to go wait out there in the car.
I wasn't that long. I stopped at the White River sign just out of town. Took some pictures and.
You did it.
Go ahead, Jim. Yay! Celebrate.
I'm not gonna waste it. I'm drinking it.
You're on video.
That's for another bottle later.
Congratulations, Jim. Go ahead. Let her rip. We got lots more.
This has got a lot of implications. 1, I get my book done. 2, it proves to half the world that I'm not as insane as they think I am. But I am.
Open her up.
1,100. Wait a second. Wait a minute. I'm not gonna. I don't want to waste alcohol.
Okay.
Man. I don't want to waste
I don't
it.
wanna
You guys got more booze?
Yeah, there's beer and there's 3 more of those.
Oh well then.
Look out, Ben. Shake it up. Shake what your mama gave you, Jim.
Wait a second. Okay. I did this in Noelville, the bowling banquet, and I don't think I did it right. But ready?
I got it on film. Hey!
Maybe that's for Monty. Maybe it just doesn't do it that good. Rock and roll. It's what I do. It's what it's all about. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Now you gotta wash down your bike before you pack it away.
I got lots of work to do. First things first, in some way. You know, I think about every step of the way. When I left home, I rode down to City Hall and I took a picture in front of that Hamilton sign. And then that day I'm in Guelph, run into a few friends that I knew. And then, from there it was this unknown place out near Paisley. And then there was the Provincial Park on Lake Huron. And then it was all the way up the rock. And then after that it was the Tobermory.
So what was
It
the
seems
most
like last year that I took that boat across the water.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems so long ago.
What was the toughest part? The
Pancake Bay
yeah.
to Agawa. That was the worst. That was the... Actually, you know what? I am now humbled. I've been put in my place. Somebody came forward, or some geology came forward, and literally put me in my place. I play down all the time. But these were like kilometers long. Kilometers long. I mean like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. I know it because when I'm pushing my bike, I'm looking at my cyclometer. I'm looking at the distance, and it's like I just spent 3 hours on these 3 hills. And I've only moved maybe 6 kilometers. Unbelievable. Oh, there's just way too much to talk about. Way too much to talk about. I don't know. It's just like you know, after winning the Grey Cup or winning the World Series, it's like it hasn't sunk in.
Yeah. It will tomorrow. You wake up.
Hungover?
Yeah.
You still got your whiskey?
Yeah. Like you drink both bottles.
But I was mixing it with coffee, just putting it in my coffee.
Yeah.
I was putting it, you know, I had some Coke and whatever. And
Well, the hair's a little longer than when you left.
I know I didn't leave long enough. I tried to give it. Man, oh 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 man. And I still feel good. I still feel good. You know, a lot of my ailments, they recovered along the way.
Yeah.
You know, and then I heard new things and more ailments and this and that. In order to deal with it.
Oh.
Okay. I gotta fix this because I don't want to lose the data. I am here at Puckasaw National Park and I'm totally blown away. You know, I've been in most parts of pretty much every part of Ontario, and as much as I love where I am, there's no way I can pick one spot over another. Every part of Ontario has its uniqueness. But if I was told I had to choose one, it would be north of Superior, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, Temagami has its old growth forest. You know, that's where my heart is. Algonquin Park. Just absolutely stunning. And, you know, during my bike ride north, you slowly saw the landscape change, and man, I was blown away. Maybe it's because you don't see much by car, but man, it's just unbelievable. Like, you know. And I got a question. Where's all the pine trees? I don't see any pine trees. It just means now that I am into the boreal region of northern Ontario. Now all you see is spruce, poplar, and birch. Like, what a landscape change. Lots of sand, spruce trees, but most of all, this is what I came to see: the shores of Lake Superior. Blows me away. This place is just so beautiful. I don't even want to go home.